Welcome back to Kris versus Everybody. This is a show where I talk about anything and everything unedited and uncensored. This podcast has also been brought to you by the Crisscross Studios YouTube channel. Click subscribe and click the notification bell to be notified of new episodes as they come out. Thank you for your support. Now, today we're talking about something very, very disturbing that happened earlier this week. We're going to call out something very serious. Not some fringe comment, not a harmless rant, but a very threatening message from the 47th president of the United States. And it demands a response. And I will respond to what Mr. Donald J. Trump said. So earlier this week, Donald Trump took to Truth Social, which is a conservative social media outlet, and posted statements labeling 6 Democratic lawmakers as quote unquote traitors. He accused them of seditious behavior and even declared their actions punishable by death, quote unquote. The president of the United States is a publicly seen figure. And he incited the idea that elected officials, people who are part of the democratic process, should be arrested, put on trial, and hung. He reposted a comment saying, hang them, George Washington would, in his support of this. This isn't hyperbole. This is rhetoric aimed at undermining the democratic norms of this country. When an individual with the platform and power, like the president of the United States, using language like punishable by death is crazy. It crosses a line from strong disagreement to incitement. Like, I know that his words, he meant to say something, but when you incite people, like January 6th, he incited that riot, whether we want to say he didn't mean it or not. Why the fuck were they there? He told them to go there. And then when they saw the tweet that said Vance was going to count the votes, they got mad and stormed the Capitol. But somehow the Senate said no, he didn't do it. U.S. law recognizes seditious conspiracy as a serious charge for attempts to overthrow or undermine the government by force. Not one of those 6 Democratic officials, lawmakers that Donald Trump called out, did anything seditious. Elected officials exist to represent us, to debate, legislate, challenge, or even disagree vehemently. When 6 Democratic lawmakers disagree with Donald Trump, that doesn't mean they're being seditious. That just means they're disagreeing. Now, what Donald Trump is doing is very seditious and should be punishable by death. However, the GOP, the MAGA base, are going to be like, oh no, you guys are too woke. He didn't really mean hang them and punish them by death. No, but when the president says something, people listen. When someone uses their large-scale social media megaphone to claim that dissent is treason, deserving death, that's not democracy in action. It's intimidation masquerading as governance. If we shrug this off, if we treat this as another provocative tweet, we risk normalizing threats toward our democratic system. We risk the idea that disagreement equals treason and treason equals execution. That's dangerous territory for America. I feel like we're in Russia or North Korea at this point. So here's the bottom line. This isn't about left or right. It's not about Democratic or Republican. It's not about the far left or the far right. It's not about moderates. It's not about independents. It's about safeguarding the idea that America, debate and laws, not threats and violence, channel change. It's about protecting the system that lets you podcast, lets me podcast, lets communities express dissent and build. So here's what you can do right now. Talk about it. Share this message and podcast with your friends, your network, your podcast audience. Use your voice. Highlight what's happening and why it matters. Contact your representatives. Let them know you expect them to publicly condemn threats of political violence, no matter the source. Democracy doesn't have a partisan filter. Support free and fair discourse. Engage with respectful debate. Elevate voices, calling for accountability, transparency, and truth, and not fear. Stay alert. When rhetoric goes from disagreement to you must be punished, that's a warning flag. Document it, keep informed, and push back hard. Amplify the narrative. Create content like what I'm doing right now with this podcast. Create videos, posts that reinforce democratic values, civic engagement, and the power of peaceful change. You're already doing it with Crisscross Studios and the Kris versus Everybody podcast. So keep building. To my listeners and to everyone tuning in, we can't treat threats like background noise. We can't allow them to slide by unaddressed. This moment is a crossroads. Do we stand for democracy in action, or do we let fear and coercion define our politics? If you're ready to stand, share this episode. Talk to someone today. Make sure we're building toward a stronger system, not slipping into something weaker. So thanks for listening. Until next time, stay sharp, engaged, and keep raising your voice. See you guys next time.